listening to the LOZ Podcast Network.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the LOZ Podcast Network. I'm your host, Ken Lawler. Look, you guys are either watching us in the LOZ app, you're either listening to us on KRMS radio on Saturdays from 10 to 11 a.m. We call it the Simulcast. That's where we get to talk to people each week on the podcast, and then we put it on the radio as well, so everybody gets a chance to either listen to it or watch it. And you can always find these on the LOZ app in the podcast section. And we love our collaboration with KRMS radio. Sometimes, guys, we talk to people about their business. Sometimes we talk to people about their organization, their charity. Today, I'm super excited because we have Angie Shuster, and she is the mayoral candidate for Osage Beach. You're throwing your hat in the ring. Angie, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity.
So what makes somebody decide to wake up and throw their hat in the ring for mayor? I want to know how does that happen?
It came with a lot of thought. It started several years ago, actually. Had some friends say, "Oh, you should run for alderman." And we had 3 businesses and a high schooler involved in all kinds of activities and such at the time. And so that wasn't really a possibility at that time. I didn't feel like I could dedicate enough time to it. Now I work for another company since selling the businesses, and they're very community minded. And so I just felt like it was a time that I could give back to my community.
That's awesome. What originally brought you to the lake? Are you from here originally, or what made you fall in love with this community?
Well, I was born and raised. I am a true native. I was here before the hospital. So it's just been home. I always thought I would grow up and move away, and I drove in traffic at about 15 or 16 years old, I guess 16 at the time, and went, why would somebody spend all their time stuck in traffic instead of actually doing? And so I decided that city life was not for me. So the big city of Osage Beach will have to do. And I absolutely love it here.
And so, yeah, you remember the days when it was hard to find milk and bread on the off season around town. So it's
Most
changed.
certainly.
It's changed quite a bit. I mean, Osage, it's just amazing the growth we've had and continue to have. And it's become a really big city, in a small town. And I think it's interesting, all the things that are going on with things that are coming into town. But, you before getting involved in the community leadership, what was your professional journey like? Like, what were you doing?
I had been involved with our small family businesses. We had Somerset and Resort, and the Somerset boat lifts, and then the manufacturing side of Mandak Marine Systems eventually. So I grew up in all of that. I grew up figuring out as you go with my parents and my grandparents. People in high school and junior high used to say, "Oh, well, you don't have a job, you don't work." Well, just because you don't see me work at McDonald's doesn't mean I'm not working. I always was involved with doing that, with customer service, with retail, and talking to people, trying to work through things. So doing some HR, doing some accounting. Accounting is my background. That's what my degree is in. Absolutely love that part and that aspect of it. So,
Well, if you grew up off of Jeffries Road, then you've seen quite a difference in the lake area on that particular road, right? I mean, that's just amazing how that's just transformed over there.
most definitely. So we went from about 8 small family resorts on that road. We were the last ones to sell, to all of the commercialization and dog days, and now Oasis and the condos that are down there. So it's definitely developmental.
Yeah, and I used to have a place off of Jeffries Road, condo over there, and even this is 20 years ago, and it was even then with all the development going on. But it's just amazing to me how that's just. And then I think I just saw that property kind of just went up for sale. So I mean, there's going to be even more back there in that cove, off of Jeffries eventually. But it's amazing how the changes at the lake and how everything's, moving so fast. Now, I mean, when you throw your hat in the ring for mayor for, a community that's growing so fast, what are some of the things that you're looking at and what are some of the important aspects of that you're interested in?
The balance and blend of things. I don't think you can have tourism without residents. I don't think you can have development without considering the small town feel in the community. There has to be a balance between those, and that's what I hope to keep. The place that I love and that I grew up, the you help your neighbor out kind of thing, instead of just constantly battling for this is mine and I'm in my own lane and you're in your own lane. No, we have to work together as a community, and that's what I hope to do, is to help guide that and lead that.
Who are some of the people in the community that have influenced you? Like, I mean, what are some of your peers that you kind of look up to?
There are actually quite a few of them. I mean, several of them are the small business owners. I mean, I look at Dick and Kim Ebling and what they did with Top Cider, that were longtime friends of my parents. My mom and dad, obviously, I look up to them. Um, Having done all the things that they did, all the different marinas and the families that have grown generationally and those that I've seen. And then I have a mother-in-law that works for KRMS, of course, Barbara Bunch, and she is an amazing community member that's always trying to help. My bosses are not in Osage Beach, but they do set the standard for community-minded. Amazing examples of that. Scotty and Jane Martin at Scott's Concrete are outstanding.
It's funny you said, because Susan Ebling comes on our show every once in a while. And we kind of use her as our local historian. Maybe I'll have to bring you into that group too, because she knows all the story. She knows where all the stuff happened back in the day, and the whole topsider thing is just great. But she grew up at the lake too, and so I always enjoy talking to her about that. And I think that's important, like the history of where we've all come from, and you really have to have seen it from the start to understand the huge change that we've gone through. I've been down there for almost 30 years and I've seen a ton of change, but it's just amazing.
It is. I mean, I remember Memorial Day to Labor Day used to be the 100 days of our season, and you didn't have anything outside of that other than the conventions that came into Lodge of the Four Seasons or Tantera at the time, Margaritaville now. Those were all things like you had to budget and you had to figure out how to make it happen in that 100 days, because that's all you got. And now we have a much broader shoulder season, and Walmart is 3 minutes away instead of 15 minutes away in Keenanton or Eldon, like when I grew up on a 2-lane road. So
Yeah, it is great. And I think, and it's only getting bigger, right? I mean, there's just more and more coming into the community from all aspects. It's going to be amazing. Let me ask you a question. If someone sat down with you for coffee, what are 3 things that you'd hope they'd learn about you by the end of the conversation?
I would say I would hope that they would learn that I'm a person of integrity. I won't make empty promises because I can't fix everything. I want to work toward fixing those things. I want to work toward things that happen with the community. But I think that all takes collaboration and communication. It's not a I kind of situation. That I'm a person of servant leadership, that I love Lake of the Ozarks, and I'm passionate about Osage Beach and the heart of the Lake of the Ozarks. I want to see things revitalized and continue, but still maintain the hometown feel.
Yeah, and that's such a hard thing it's just a hard line to ride, right? I mean, everybody wants growth because growth brings, prosperity. But also you have to be mindful of the fact that we need people to work at all these places, and they have to have a place to live, and they have to have a community to live in. So it's quite a task to intertwine those things together and do it successfully. So everybody feels like they got something, right?
For certain. I mean, you're not going to find, I don't think, that one segment of anything is going to stand out. You have to have a balance between all of those, and there has to be some give and take. I can't have everything all my way, and you can't have everything all your way. It has to be the balance between. So I think as long as we can have some common goals and have some conversations, we can work toward that. I think our city is on a great path as it is to making some resolutions and revitalizations, yet still maintaining some things for our residents that are here year round.
Let's leave everybody with just one thing that I think is important, and that is, what do you like to do at the lake when you have downtime? When you're just like, okay, I got a half of an afternoon here on the weekend. What's your favorite thing to do at the Lake of the Ozarks?
Mine is actually to get out, be outside, be out in nature, not necessarily on the lake because I grew up on the lake and all my jobs were related to the lake. So I tend to go to the woods and to where it's quiet and peaceful. But I do love being outside and seeing the four seasons and just enjoying our area. It's a wonderful area to be in. We still have lots of trees, which is a plus.
That's awesome. Hey, listen, I am so happy we were able to get you on the program and kind of let people get to know you a little bit better and some of the things that you're interested in doing to help the community. I think it's a great, I just have so much admiration for people who run for office, win, lose, or draw. They're putting their hat in the ring and they're really telling people around them that it's okay to put yourself out there and try to get something done. It's not easy. As I'm sure you could tell everyone, this is not easy, but it's just such a huge personal effort that you're giving of yourself to the community. It's an amazing for anybody who runs for office. I think it's so cool.
Thank you. I definitely take my son's words to heart where it said that. He said, "Mom, if it's what you're passionate about, go for it."
Hey, you got to listen. That's out of the mouth of babes. You got to listen to that, right? So
Definitely.
all right, everybody, listen, Angie Shuster, she's put her hat in the ring for mayor. Hopefully you guys got to know her a little bit better. And that's what this is all about, is getting people to understand, a little more about you and where you're going. And I wish you all the luck. And we just loved having you on the show. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you kindly.
All right, everybody. And with that, we will be right back after these messages.
The best shows around, LOZ Podcast Network, where stories collide. Listen in the app.